Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compete. Here comes Fatima Hania, student of Hidaya Public School, class 10th. Daughter of Mr. Umar and Mrs. Zuhara from Iringalur, loves to spend her free time dancing and singing, aspires to be a doctor. A crazy follower of Korean rap musician Kim Nam-joon, Fatima Hania is here to entertain you all with her verbosity on the floor of HIDx Talk Grand Finale Season 1.
Fatima Hania on the floor, please.
Hello everyone, myself Fatima Hania. Michael Jordan said, I have missed more than 9,000 shots, lost almost 300 games, and 26 times I have been trusted to make the game a winning shot and missed. I've lost over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan is one of the most famous basketball players in the world, though he wasn't always a star. He didn't make his high school basketball team because he was too short and wasn't good enough. He could have quit, but instead, he had the mindset to continue and get better. He was out practicing each day. Most people were even out of bed, and because of this, he not only made the team the following year, but he went on to become the greatest player of all time and a true champion. The question that comes from our mind is, can we all learn to have a mindset of a champion? A mindset is about describing how we think. There are two types of mindsets. One, a fixed mindset, and two, a growth mindset. A growth mindset is when somebody believes that they can learn to be good and they can learn to be better. They know that they have put effort into learn and they learn from criticism. They are also inspired by people who do well. Michael Jordan has this trait, though another person with a growth mindset is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He was cut from the Canadian Football League early on in his career. He could have quit, but instead, he worked very hard, faced many challenges, and is now a famous movie star, one of my favorites. Did you know that professional scouts and coaches look for athletes who just don't have skill? They want someone who wants to learn, who are coachable and give 100% effort in practices. They want someone with a growth mindset. What they don't want is someone who thinks that they're already good enough, they don't want to learn, and are not coachable. These people have a fixed mindset. These people either think they're born good or born not so good. They cannot learn. They are afraid of challenges. They give up and get defensive easily. They are also threatened by people who do well. Which mindset do you think I have? Well, let me tell you a story. Reading was so hard for me when I was a child. From kindergarten to 4th grades, I was a bit below level grade in reading. So each night, I read aloud to my parents to try to get better. This was always the worst part of my day. Whenever I was reading, I would of course make mistakes, misread words, say words that are not there, miss punctuations, normal. But when my mom or dad tried to correct me, I would get upset. I told them that they were wrong and sometimes even had a meltdown. I thought that what my teachers were teaching should come to me easy. Well, guess what? Most of the things I was learning or reading were not easy. I would get upset. Negative thoughts come to my mind. You suck. You cannot do anything. This should be so easy. Suddenly, I felt tears coming down my face in front of my friends and teachers too. In my mind, I was saying, no, please, no. I could no longer control my emotions. This is where the real problem begins. You see, I lost control of my emotions. I stopped listening and I stopped thinking. I become difficult to those around me. And when I finally get through it, I'm very tired. This is not healthy, and it's not the person who I want to be. I want to know why I'm feeling this way and why my emotions were so strong. Well, this year is the first time I was able to answer these questions. I believe that we can change our fixed mindset into a growth mindset and have a mindset of a champion. Well, maybe not a champion like Michael Jordan, but a champion in our own way. My dad and I read this book called Mindsets, written by Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck is a professor and a professional psychologist who researched and came up with the idea of mindsets. Her book told me that I was not the only one who had fixed mindset from time to time. However, the best advice I ever gotten was from my teacher and school counselor. Their advice was just one little three-letter words. This word was yet. They told me to always put the word yet at the end of my sentence. I cannot do it. I cannot do it yet. I don't understand. I don't understand yet. The word yet makes me feel I just need to put a little more effort in before I understand it. However, I now know why I feel frustrated and upset. For any of you out there who may have a fixed mindset from time to time, please know that I prove that you can beat it. Writing the stuff, the whole time I have struggled, but every day I have gotten a little better than the day before. This is why I can say I'm winning, because I'm here in front of you now today. Thank you.
Next is Shifin, Mohammed Shifin.
The power of talk is huge. If we master it, we can convince our public or speaker, we can persuade it and also understand and move it. To hold you with great oratory skill, we Hidaya Public School proudly presents Mohammed Shifin MK, son of Mr. Samir and Mrs. Sherin from Ramanattukara, who has proved that a footballer can also be a great orator. So ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath for the powerful performance by Shifin. Let's welcome Shifin to the grand finale of HIDx Talk Show Season 1.
Mohammed Shifin on the floor.
Good evening. Myself Shifin from class 8. Let us start with a message from the next generation. The signs I saw on my way on the main street was so glorious. It made me think. There is so much in the world to draw inspiration from for me. It's my amazing friction, arts and crafts. All the inspiration earns me, gives me ideas and motivates me to keep doing something unique like write songs of my own to make my school note on cool posting, to write songs, learn my favorite topics and to decorate my bookshelf. All these things can be small, but every inspiration earns me, encourages me to do something creative and feel very happy. Let me wind up. Thank you.
Next contestant, Mariam.
Speak clearly if you speak at all. Carve every word before you let it fall. She is smart, intelligent, and a flawless speaker. Mariam Abdul Razak, grade 9 student of Hidaya Public School, is an epitome of instant, effortless speech. The daughter of Mr. Abdul Razak and Mrs. Shahina wants to be a psychologist in the future. Her hobbies are crafting, reading, and singing. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Mariam Abdul Razak to the grand finale of HIDx Talk Show Season 1.
Mariam.
Good evening all. Myself, Mariam Abdul Razak from class 9. Have you ever thought to yourself before going to sleep? Tomorrow is a day I will change. Tomorrow is a day I'll want to change to whom I really want to be, the best version of myself. Tomorrow is the day I'll get up early in the morning, have a healthy breakfast, go for a morning jog, breathe fresh air. Well, change doesn't come easy. You have to incorporate certain habits in your life that are eventually led you to become the best version of yourself. You will also have to eliminate certain kind of habits that are inheriting your paths. Well, how long will it take us to form a new habit or get rid of an old one? The most people will tell you it exactly takes 21 days for you to form a new habit. Once I also heard it like it exactly take 21 days for me to form a new habit. But I do not exaggerate if I say that this 21-day theory is the most famous myth in the world of self-development. Let's dive a little into our theory to understand where the number 21 came from. Dr. Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon in 1950s. He published in his theory in his book that went very famous in that era and sold over 30 million copies. And here the conflict started to blow. And now it made sense why the people used to believe in his theory. Why? Number one, the number 21 is considered a source of a short period of time. And also it considered a source of temptation, which means something you can do. Number two, the number 21 is also long enough to be believed. A difficult challenge, but not impossible. I mean, who wouldn't love to change your whole life just within 21 days? Wouldn't you love to start waking up early in the morning every day? Wouldn't you love to start drinking varied smoothies? Wouldn't you love to start cooking new recipes? And all this within less than 1 month. So, we want to clear things up. How long will it take us to form a new habit or get rid of an old one? There is a famous study by the psychologist Philip Lally, and after the study, it was analyzed to determine that the time needed to move on from an old habit to start a new one. After the study, it was analyzed to determine that we need exactly 2 to 8 months. Yeah, the truth is that you need 2 to 8 months, not only just 21 days. Guys, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years, it doesn't actually matter how long it takes. As much as it matters, you have to begin with today. And once you begin, make sure to maintain your new habit in your schedules. Set reminders, create a supportive environment. And most importantly, you don't have to be perfect. Making a mistake once or twice has no lasting effects on your behavior. Change is not always easy and not always simple, but with enough dedication, any habits can be reshaped. So, if you want to become the best version of yourself, get up today and start working on it. And I promise you will reach there. Thank you.
Mohammad Rayan.
Oratory goes beyond words. It is not only speaking, but rather communicating. Here comes our energetic contestant, Mohammad Rayan, son of Mr. Farastaq and Mrs. Jasira from Olavanna. Rayan is gem of a student whose ambition is to be an IAS officer. Reading is his hobby. So, ladies and gentlemen, Hidaya Public School proudly presents our orator, Mohammad Rayan, to the grand finale of HIDx Talk Show Season 1.
Mohammad Rayan on the floor.
Hi, I'm Mohammad Rayan from 9th Standard. And I'm here to talk a few words on the topic reading. You know, reading is really important in our life. You know why? Because a great reader makes a great communicator. And a great communicator makes a great pursuers. And you know what great pursuers makes? They make a good society, which our world needs now. I think it's totally crazy that all our talk about is games, TV shows, series, YouTube, Instagram, etc., etc. It goes on. So, I felt that there is not much difference between a good book and a device. Unlike a device, a good book can never ever cause any health issues. Studies have shown that kids these days even spend 6.5 hours on the screen a day. I think we must pay attention to this problem. During the period of COVID, I think it was decreasing, I visited one of my cousin's house. He was a great reader, unlike me. So I took one of his books and started reading. Honestly, that was the first time I read a book with interest. I felt that I was an addictive person to the phone, but after I started reading, it decreased and decreased. I think most of the kids' problem, they are not reading because they are not interested, because they might haven't read, maybe. So let me tell you, if there is a good book to accompany you, there is nothing else better in the universe. Because a great book can take you to the places where you can't go, lets you meet the people who you can't meet, and the positives are endless. As I told you earlier, the phone addiction can be decreased. It's too good for your vocabulary. Yeah, etc., etc. This one also goes on like the endless apps on the phone. So, I'm trying to say that while these models of modern technology have their place, we, the younger generation, have to hold on reading. So, go out there, find a new book, start finding the key for your kingdom. Thank you.
Next, Avana Anil Afzal.
Born to Mr. Afzal and Mrs. Samira Afzal, Avana Anin Afzal, a 9th standard Hidaya Public School student, wants to speak and influence the people. This future astronaut loves to learn new languages and English is her favorite subject. As mother is the most divine and supreme power, her greatest motivator is her mother. Let's welcome Avana Anin to the eve.
Avana Anil Afzal.
Did you know that 80% of children check their phones for every 5 minutes? Crazy, right? Hi everyone. My name is Hidaya and today I'm going to be talking to you about cell phone addiction. Well, I may have an addiction myself too, but that doesn't mean I can talk about it. Well, who knows it better than me? There are many people with different addictions, but in my opinion, cell phone addiction is the #1 word. Now, take a second and think about it. How many times you use your phone or take your phone? What happens to you when you lose your phone? Are you calm and quiet or you freak out? There are actual people with panic attack. It's called nomophobia, or I personally like to call it's phonophobia. It is when you panic if you don't have your phone in your pocket or you can't find it. I've seen this in many occasions in our house. But don't feel alone. In fact, there are 1.5 billion people in China. 24 is suspected to be addicted to the technology. Now, the big question is, why people are becoming so addicted to the technology? Well, here is my answer. Take social media for an example. Every single time you post a photo, let's see, in a matter of 10 seconds, and you get 4 likes. Those 10 seconds of happiness sends a message to your brain and say, I want more. So you post another photo. Let's see how many likes you get. Now you're spending every single time on your phone to check if someone liked your photo. Even if that someone is across the world and you never met them before, it sounds like pretty waste of a day to me. My advice is to you to pay attention to the little things that make you happy and right in front of you. Let me wind up by saying Steve Jobs once said that your time is limited, so don't waste by living someone else's life. Thank you.